Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Clean Bowl podcast, a very special episode where we are previewing the semi-finals of the T20 Men's World Cup right now. Before we get into it, make sure you like this video, give it a share, make sure you subscribe as well, because we've got some great content coming, not less this video as well. We will have another semi-final preview with the South Africa-New Zealand game. That will be with Kieran. But today we are previewing one of the big semi-finals. It's India versus England for such a big occasion. Joined with me is a very, very special guest, all the way from Krishnagiri in Tamil Nadu. My good friend, Santhosh. Machi, vanakkam.
Thanks, Machi. Vanakkam.
எப்படி இருக்கீங்க?
சூப்பரா இருக்கேன். நீங்க?
நல்லா இருக்கேன். Nervous about this match. Let's get into this. The big topic in India at the minute, the Vijay Trisha. No, sorry. I'm joking. I didn't. This game, India-England semi-finals. Let's start with what's happened so far. What have you made of England so far?
So I was under the impression that they'll get knocked out in the initial stage, group stage itself. But the luck favors the brave. So
Yeah.
So they got lucky in the group stage, and they did really well in the Super 8s. India did well in the group stages, and the vice versa for India. So so I'm just scared about the momentum. England is coming to the semis with a good momentum, especially with the middle order clicking for them, and as well as the bowling. And Will Jacks, I'm really scared about him.
Yeah, I mean, they do have a strong team, and they are also, like India, a double winner of a T20 World Cup. So they know how to win games. I think that's the thing. Even if they're all players, maybe not all firing on all cylinders, they have players who can. They are a team who exist in moments. I think that's the best way to describe England. They exist in moments that, even if they're down for large portions of the game, they have players who can bail them out. They have a crazily long batting lineup. So even if 1, 2, 3, 4 guys aren't scoring, which is the case, you've got a Will Jacks, you've got Bethel, you've got Bantam, you've got Brook, you've got so many guys who can just bail them out of trouble in any given situation. And Rayan Ahmed, apparently, who's now can hit crazy amounts of. He hasn't played a game and comes in and scores 40 or whatever. So
see the similarities between these two teams. So they build up in such a way that they can battle 8 to 9, and they've got a decent spin bowling lineup. So I can see the similarities between these two teams. Hope.
Yeah. Well, we'll get to the spinners actually, because Michael Vaughan has come out with some comments about the spin attack. So we'll come to that. Don't worry. So let's look at India's roller coaster progress in this competition. So as we've seen in the video that we did the other day, and now India have progressed to the semi-finals. Obviously, that's why they're in this game. But quite a nervy Super 8 stage compared to the group stages. A humbling defeat by South Africa. But as I said in my post-match show, you got to give credit where credit's due. India at that point were completely crushed. The tournament could have crumbled because we were teetering on the exit. So at that point, India is saying, well, look, we hope South Africa beat the West Indies. And at that point, we're all like confused. Oh my God, is that going to happen? But actually, logic would tell you, well, of course, South Africa are going to beat the West Indies. They're actually a much better team. It's not that, but your mind does tricks on you. Like, well, if West Indies win, because they scored 250 against Zimbabwe, we thought, well, they're going to crush South Africa. And to be fair, in the first few overs, it looked like they were going to head for a big score, but South Africa are a much better team than West Indies, so they won. So India had to just win their next 2 games. And to be fair, I think they won them pretty comfortably. Under pressure in both games, they've delivered 2 really good performances, and that must count for something. They haven't scraped through 2 really good performances.
Honestly, in my opinion, I was under an impression that there's a high chance for India to get knocked out in the Super 8 stages after seeing the first game. And to be honest, that was a reality check for the team. So it came to them in the right point. Thank goodness they didn't choke in semi-finals or finals to get the reality check. So that was a good thing that happened to Team India, where they've lost a game in Super 8 rather than these 2 knockout games.
Actually, the South Africa game, there are many reasons why India lost that game. But one of them was, if you remember, after the power play, South Africa were 40 for 3. So India were very much in the ascendancy in that game because Bumrah, Hardik Pandya, and Arshdeep Singh all bowled really well in those opening spells. Shivam Dube comes on, in his first over goes for 16 runs. That hands the momentum initiative back to the opposition. And when you have guys bowling like that, the team is not under pressure.
At least they can let Tilak Verma or Abhishek Sharma 1 or 2 overs. So
the way they bowled against, on that wicket, it was hard to take wickets against West Indies. But I think generally the plan in terms of who was bowling was a good formula, I think. Because it got to the 16th over, 17th over, and I watched it saying, okay, this proves to me you don't need to bowl Shivam Dube. You've got to the 16th over without bowling him. You don't need to bowl him at all. You have the people already there without needing to bowl him. So, yeah, India, we've got through some adversity, but again, that's good. I think sometimes you can lose a game and it can benefit you. Perhaps that defeat came at the right time because it gave them a bit of a boost and a bit of a wake-up call, like you said. So let's talk about the key battles.
I think the first one's going to be Samson versus Archer. So if you remember 2025 series, and Archer got one game plan to bowl bounces to Samson, get him out in the square leg. So I hope that if Samson crosses that phase, the initial phase, negating Archer's short ball, rotating the strike, that will be better for him. To be honest, it's going to be the middler of England versus Varun Chakravarti. And one good thing or a bad thing, to be honest, is no more a mystery spinner. South Africans has decoded him. So hopefully he'll continue his mystery against England. So
yes,
that is something I'm looking into. And the other one is Rashid against Surya.
Yeah, that's a very good one. Obviously, the next thing we'll talk about is England spinners, but I think this is going to be a question of the spinners from both teams are going to have a big say in this game. Both teams' middle orders against the other team's spinners, because India, I think, have actually struggled a little bit against spin, not just in this competition, in general, which is crazy for a country that is so used to playing against spin and produces spinners and has spinners in the IPL. Our batsmen tend to be struggling a lot against spinners. So that battle against England spinners will be very key. But yeah, the point you made about Sanju Samson against Jofra Archer, who's had his number in past in the IPL in the 2025 series, is going to be one to watch. I would like to think that what we saw against the West Indies was a new Sanju Samson who knows how to now play with maturity, but also with pressure on his shoulders. We have all spoken and we all know his story, and we know that there's been times when he's had ups and downs and he's struggled in moments where the pressure is on him. We know his kind of game, but against the West Indies, I think he showed he has so much more to his game than just an opener who can come and bash it for 4 or 5 overs. He has all the tools in his game, so he must know what Jofra Archer is going to do. I would be really angry if he gets hurt in the same way, because he must know what's coming at him on Thursday. Another big battle is going to be Bumrah versus Brook. So if you noticed when we played the West Indies, it was obviously a case of Arshdeep opens, but who's going to be the second? Is it going to be Hardik? Is it going to be Bumrah? They deliberately kept Bumrah back because they wanted him to face Hetmeyer. He's their signature number 3. We got to keep Bumrah safe to get him out, and he did get him out. And I wouldn't be surprised if we see something very similar. We hope Arshdeep and Hardik will handle Phil Salt and Josh Butler, who are both struggling for runs. But in come next is the captain who's in red-hot form himself. So we need our best bowler up against their best batsman. I think that you won't be surprised if I see that.
Yeah. I hope Bumrah will come out as a winner against Brook, but he's in good form, so
both are in good forms. Both are in good form, so it's going to be a juicy contest. So Michael Vaughan wrote an article for the BBC today, and he said that he felt England can beat India. And one of the reasons he gave for England beating India was that he felt that England had the better spinners than India. What do you make of these comments?
I think I'll go with Michael Vaughan in this, because
Really?
Uh,
Okay.
yeah, yeah. In my opinion, English spinners are getting accustomed to the conditions well when compared to Indian spinners.
Mm.
And people started decoding Indian spinners, especially Varun Chakravarti. And this isn't the time that people shouldn't be decoded in, but they've decoded him end of the day. And Rashid and other English spinners are bowling slowly through the air, so they get more drift and more control over the ball. And these are Indian spinners; they don't do that. End of the day, they're
Mm.
trying to bowl quick. They want to hit the stumps, but they're trying to attack the stumps, but these people are bowling more defensively. So I'll
Mm.
give 55 England and 45 India when it comes to the spinners.
Yeah, I mean, look, if you compare how the spinners have compared in this competition, um, so Varun Chakravarti is the leading wicket taker in this one, I think, in spinners, but he's
Yeah,
taken 12 wickets. But his average is 15, and his economy is 7.7. So he's bowled 144 balls. But then you compare that with Adil Rashid, who's taken 11 wickets, but he's bowled 160 balls, and his average is 19, and his economy is 7.8. Liam Dawson, he's bowled 156 balls, taken 10 wickets, again at a 19, an average of 19, 7.3 economy. Will Jacks, 96 balls bowled, 7 wickets at an average of 22, economy of 9.7. And then you've got our Akshar Patel, 114 balls bowled, 7 wickets, an average of 20, economy of 7.5. So that kind of tells me that everybody is leaking runs, but they're taking wickets at the same time.
yeah, that's one thing. On top of it, rather than on being on top of a team, being on a driver's seat, England wins on the moment, so on the
Yeah,
pockets. So that is something that we have to look into. So we'll
yeah,
feel that we are on control, but winning all those minute moments there, that'll give them a little bit edge over India in this point of view. And when we compare spinners of both the teams, so we have Akshar and as well as Varun, but they have got more options when compared to India. So if
yeah,
Rashid's getting smashed, they'll go with Rehan. Rehan is getting smashed, they'll go with Dawson. So Dawson is getting smashed, they'll go with Will Jacks. So they have got
yeah.
the diversity over there. And that is something that India should consider. So rather than taking these spinners lightly, that's what I'm scared of.
That's a very good point because South Africa don't have a big um, depth in spinning. They got Maharaj, Markram, and I think that's probably it. West
That's it.
Indies didn't really have any spinners, really. Their bowling wasn't
No.
great. It isn't great. It's not a world class bowling attack that the West Indies have, which is why my issue is that the West Indies didn't have enough runs because they don't have the bowling to defend the score. England do. They do have Sam Curran, for example, really good all rounder. He's brilliant at the death bowling. And then, like you said, India only have 2 frontline spinners. You have guys who can come on, like Abhishek can come on, Tilak can come on, but these aren't frontline spinners. We only have 2. And if those are both going for runs, it's a little
Yeah.
bit of an issue. But like you said, England have 4 frontline spinners, which is why they've had a lot of success with the spin. So what I'm saying is India won't have much practice against the only other team I think that can compare in terms of number of spinners is Pakistan. I do not want to see the ball going anywhere near Shibam Dube, but I'm worried that they have to. But I'm
They have to
worried that
ban
that is a.
Dubey bowling.
I know, but they should. It really should just tell them, look, you're only into bat. Don't even tempt me, saying, "Let me do it. I'm fine."
Yeah.
Um,
Honestly, that's what I'm scared of, and especially like a bowling lineup of West Indies. They took the game till 19th over.
yeah.
So
Yes. Very good point. So India's depth or lack of depth in their bowling is a concern. It's shown to be a concern in this game because even against the West Indies, West Indies scored 70 in the last 30. Um,
yeah,
so for them, it was the middle period where they were squeezed a lot because they really should have got, if they were going to win that game, they needed to get 240, 230. So India's death bowling into the end can leak runs. Another thing that I think India need to improve on was their fielding. They've not fielded well at all the whole competition. Their catching efficiency is the lowest of any team in the Super 8. It's 10% worse than Pakistan's. And they're not even in the
oh
competition anymore.
yeah,
So that's bad. They've dropped some of the catches that were being dropped by both teams in the West Indies game was mad.
It was horrible to see. So, the key for India to win this game, we should lose only one wicket during the power play, nothing
Okay.
more beyond that. And from 11 to 13 overs, we should go at least 8.5 to 9 runs an over. Looking into our bowling lineup, that's a run.
Mm.
That's a run rate that we have to look into. And uh, changing the gears from 13 to 17. That is something that we need to do. So from 9 to uh, 10, 11 on over. After 17, from 18 to 20, they have to go at least 15 and over. So anything over 230, 220 is going to be a safe score in this ground. And the ground is so small, the dimensions you can see. And with our bowling lineup, barring Bumrah, we have to score that much to defend it. And if
Yes.
you're bowling first, and I'm scared of that as well because I don't want the similar result of South Africa against India. So this is my opinion.
Well, it's funny you mentioned that because I wanted us to bowl first against South Africa. I wanted that to happen, but how wrong was
Oh,
I? Yeah, but I also wanted it the same in the West Indies game. I wanted us to because I felt like you don't want to be batting first in a situation where you need to score 230, 240, 250. But look, I also think key to this is we've spoken about Sanju Samson, and I'm hoping to see more of the same. Abhishek Sharma, look, he's struggling. Ishan Kim got a good tournament, but I need to see more from our captain. I need to see more from Sky.
so his strength has become his weakness, playing the
Mm,
supla shot. So in my opinion, the leadership carrying Indian team and captaining Indian team, your captaincy, your batting, everything will be scrutinized by everyone.
yes,
So
yeah.
there's a huge difference captaining a South Asian team.
We also do need to talk about England. So for England, what do you think for them to win this game? What is going to be key for them?
So they have to take wickets in regular interval to keep the pressure on India on the moments that they have been doing for quite some time. So winning the moments on a regular interval will give an edge to England. But
Mm,
one thing can be uh, little hard on Gautam Gambhir. Indian players shouldn't be listening to Gautam Gambhir because if you have seen the last game, the ball was with Varun Chakravarti. He was supposed to bowl 16th over. It was given to Ashdeep Singh. So that's the over that was really expensive. I think if he's gone for 24 runs or 28
mm.
runs. So that was decided by Gambhir. So if Indian players doesn't listen to Gambhir, so then there's a huge chance for India to sweep this game.
No, yeah, listen, you can say whatever you want about Gautam Gambhir on this channel. We are very
Yeah.
much happy with it. You don't hold back. I think the key to them winning will be their bowling. I think they're the spinners, the variation to the spinners. With India not having faced, I think, this level of spin attack, Pakistan aside, not used to seeing that in a pressure game. India trying to get a big score or trying to chase it against the spin attack that can take wickets at regular intervals. That's the key for England. Whoever comes out in that battle on top, I think will win this game.
There's a chance for England to win this game as well. So England got this mentality, like they play like they've got nothing else to lose.
Mm,
So there's always a knife hanging on top of Indian
mm,
cricket team. So that gives a edge for England, but I would say they've got edge 40%. But India's got a good team, and if everything goes well for India, there's a huge chance for India to win this game comfortably. But they can't take England lightly, just like West Indies or any other team, because even for English cricket team, they are unpredictable.
One thing I must say this England team is that they are also not great players of spin.
Yeah.
We've seen that in this competition. India batsmen are all not great, but neither are England by any stretch of the imagination. So Bumrah will do his thing. Hardik Pandya has a good record against England. In fact, I think Hardik Pandya has taken more wickets against England than any other team, actually. So he's got a good record against England. It's time now for Varun Chakravarti to when I say step up, I mean he has taken the most wickets, but I mean like don't go for 40, 50 in your 4 overs. Like it's time for you to show why you're the number one bowler in this format. Okay, let's say I've got a magic wand. You're captain of India, Santhosh. Thursday, you are walking out with Harry Brook. Coin goes up, heads or tails, whatever it is. You won the toss. What are you going to do?
I'll just bowl first.
You bowl first, yeah. I'll do exactly the
Oh
same.
my goodness!
I would
Because
do the
I
same.
wanted to bowl first, because what if there's a dew factor? So and we've got quick bowlers than spinners, so they've got they don't have enough control over the ball. So I still believe that India's got a chance, but off late, when we see this World Cup, looking into the template, team batting first got a huge probability of winning the game than the team chasing. So India was so lucky the last game because they got a good surface to bat on. So we can't rely on Wankhede's wicket. Either it's going to be a highway or it's going to be a slow one that we have got against the USA. So these are something that I'm scared of, but I hope that India wins the toss and bowls first.
It's interesting that we talk about this. The overall T20 record at the Wankhede. So the exact numbers, they vary slightly year to year, but the overall pattern is very clear. So the average first innings score is 175 to 185. That's the average first innings score at this ground. 200 plus totals are actually pretty common in the IPL, but they're playing them more regularly, so that makes sense. The highest T20 total here is 232, I think. So across the T20 matches here, teams chasing win slightly more often because the dew factor in the makes does make batting slightly difficult, but the ball comes onto the bat quite nicely under lights. The wet ball with the dew reduces any grip for the spinners. Yorkers are hard to execute, so 190. This is what we said for the West Indies, but that was in Eden Gardens. But 190 can still feel like 15 runs short. So that's quite interesting. I think with the Wankhede is you never know. With that, those stats tell me nobody really knows what a good score is then.
And especially after seeing the game against the US, so in order to keep England in check, and that can be a double-edged sword. And India's got only two frontline spinners, so that can be an added-on advantage for the English cricket team. So I hope they would give us a decent wicket rather than a slow, sluggish one. So the competition will be even. So if you get a decent wicket to bat on.
Yeah, I think so. I agree with you, and I would also bowl first. I think look, and that doesn't mean if India bat first, then it's like, oh well, that's it, game over, because this team is capable of putting on a big score. And England with spin with like under lights in India, I don't think they have a very good record. So
yeah,
India, I think on paper are a better team. I think England has littered with big pinch hitters across its lineup.
Even Rashid can go for some bombs.
And Jofra Archer can hit.
Oh, yeah.
So you have a lot of guys who can hit sixes and fours, but there's not a lot of pure batsmen in the team. Their batsmen are the Harry Brook, who again will give you chances. Their base pure batsman is at the top, Phil Salt and Josh Butler, and they're both having a horrendous tournament. You don't know about this because I didn't tell you in advance, so we're going to do a little trivia, a little quiz for you. This is all about India versus England in T20. So I'm going to ask you 4 questions that we'll do our combined 11s, and then we'll see how you got on in the quiz at the end. Which England pair chased down 169 without losing a wicket against India in the 2022 semi-final? So that's one. So don't give you answer now, we'll come to it. So just save that one. The next question. Who holds the record for the highest individual T20 international score in India versus England matches? I'll say that again. Who holds the record for the highest individual T20 international score in an India versus England match? In T20 World Cups, how many times have India bowled England out for under 100?
Yeah.
Let's see who you've got in an India versus England combined 11. Current players.
So you want to go first, or
you go for it? Go. You're the guest. Yeah, go first.
Yeah, I'll start off with Phil Salt and Samson opening.
Okay.
And followed by Ishan Kishan, Harry Brook.
Harry Brook at 4.
Yeah.
Okay.
Followed by Will Jackson, Dubey.
Okay. Oh wow. Okay.
Axel at 8. Rashid or Archer 9 and 10. 11 Bumrah.
Wow. Okay. How many England players is that? How many India players is that?
I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 English players and 6 Indian players.
So I also had Phil Salt and Sanju Samson opening.
Nice.
At 3, I had Harry Brook. 4, I had Surya Kumar Yadav.
Okay.
I think I'm talking 2022 Sky, but
Okay.
then at 5, I have Hardik Pandya. Then I got Will Jacks.
Oh my goodness.
You missed out. Yeah, it's difficult.
Yeah.
I had to keep going back between teams to think, oh, who does? Okay. Then I have Will Jacks at 6, Sam Curran at 7, Akshar Patel at 8, Jofra Archer at 9, Jasprit Bumrah at 10, and Varun Chakravarti at 11.
Wow.
Yeah. 2 good teams. I'd like to see those 2 teams play each other.
Yeah. I think you've selected a better team than mine, I guess.
I don't know. Yeah, yeah, it would be nice to see this team play. But which England pair chased down 169 without losing a wicket in the 2022 T20 World Cup semi-final?
So one was Josh Butler. Remember the opener? I don't know the second opener. I'm sorry.
It was Josh Butler and Alex Hales.
Alex Hales. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Now, next question: who holds the record for the highest individual T20 international score in India versus England matches? There's 4 points potentially on offer.
I don't know whether can it be Sky.
It is Sky. It is Sky. He was the batsman.
I think he has scored against England in England. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, no. So very good answer. Yeah, it is Surya Kumar Yadav in England. He scored 117 Trent Bridge in 2022. And the final question: in T20 World Cups, how many times have India bowled England out for under 100?
I think once during 2012 World Cup in Sri Lanka.
Very good answer. It's only once. Yeah.
Yeah, because other times it was in 2007. It wasn't a close game, but they scored decently. Yeah. And
yeah, once they were 80 all out in that game. I guess, yeah, as you said, in Sri Lanka. Yeah, overall head-to-head score, India and England have met 4 times in T20 World Cup. India have won twice and England have won twice, which is interesting. And the last 3 semi-finals, obviously this being the 3rd, last World Cup in the semi-final we played England, and in the one before that in 2022 we also played England. So it's tied at 1 apiece. 2022 they absolutely hammered us, and I think we hammered them in 2024 on the way to winning it. So who wins this time around? And who knows if who goes on to win it. Thank you very much, Machi, for being part of this video. Thank you so much. Guys, make sure you like this video. Make sure you share it, give it a subscribe. Let's see who wins. It's India. It's versus England in the second semi-final. Who wins? Only one way to find out. We'll see you next time.